All right, man. What's cracking, everybody? What's cracking? Welcome back to the channel. New video. It's late. I apologize once again. Running around taking care of a lot of things. I just put together a brand new desk. This thing almost falling off. Brand new. I went and got a brand new desk, man, for the lab. Excuse me. I was able to hook up the lighting, hopefully better. Hopefully this looks better. I bought a new mixer, audio mixer. I got to figure out how to get it working with this. But that said, I had to put out a video today. And honestly, it took me a while to put this. It's got LED lights all over it. It took me a while to put this together, and drove around. I was everywhere today, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do a video. But as content creators know, the end of the month we have to push because we have to keep that momentum going into the next month, especially in the beginning of the year where it's very hard to, it's not very hard. YouTube doesn't pay as much. Advertisers aren't paying as much. And so you really got to bust your ass, especially for channels, you know, medium-sized channel. I guess now at this point I'm medium. But I saw a video yesterday, and it was the No Jumper, Wack 100, and Loose Cannon video. And Loose Cannon's wife, I think that's his wife or his lady. I don't know. I saw it, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to do a video on this because that's 60s business. You know, at the end of the day, it's not even just, it's not crip business. It's not neighborhood business. It's 60s business, right? But today, as I was sitting here thinking, okay, what do I want to talk about today? There's parts of this that just kind of bug me. It doesn't sit right with me. Obviously I don't have a dog in this fight, but when you're talking about a hot one, when you're talking about a case where there's a body, there's no statute of limitations. And I watched the video. And if you go and watch the video and you get to that part of the video, the interview, where they talk about the main thing, right? The Nipsey Hussle death. You see where Wack was telling Adam a lot of the stories, a lot of stuff that I have told you, we've talked about, it actually came from him. So I'm about to do Loose Cannon. Again, I don't know any of these people. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It was put out there by them. And so a lot of people are talking about it. And, you know, we all have our own 2 cents, and this is mine. Wack 100 knew exactly what Loose Cannon was going to say. Watch the video, though. Whoa, what do you mean, nephew? What do you mean? Like, there was a lot of theatrics, man. And from the sounds of it, this dude Loose Cannon is somebody in 60s. You know, he's somebody in that area. It's just unfortunate that, you know, I'll say this. I was always very, when I was doing my thing in the neighborhood, I was always very, very strict about one thing. Well, many things, but about this thing, let me say. Neighborhood business, right? I used to say it like this: West Side business is West Side business, period. We don't put it in other neighborhoods' ears. It's our business, right? And so whenever I hear people get on social media and talk bad about one of their own homeboys, it's very foreign to me. In my way of thinking, it just doesn't sit right. And you know, a lot of people are talking about that Big U has this contract with the LAPD, right? I don't know what that contract is. I don't know what those things are, but a lot of people are saying it's a contract to where if there's something going on, the police talk to him and he basically mediates and tries to quell the situation. And that's, you know, I get it that maybe if you're from the hood, you don't take that job. But who in that hood is going to listen to an outside source? You know what I mean? So there's that. I don't know what it is. But like I said, I've heard it was one of those type things where it isn't a thing where Big U's giving up information. Now, this dude said that Big U was writing. He brought 20 guns, I think he said, and then that he was writing down the serial numbers. Think about that. See, these are the things that in my mind, you know, being in prison and being in charge of the fates of other men, there has to be thorough investigations. You can't be sloppy because you make a bad call and you have somebody whacked without looking into everything. Guess what? He got whacked. But so will you, because you didn't do your homework, right? And I'm not saying that individual, I'm saying period. So me having been involved in a lot of these investigations in the past, as far as, you know, prison, you know, I'm not, as far as that type of shit, having the fate of other men in your hands, having a vote, a say so on what's going to happen, you got to listen, man. So Big U allegedly brought 20 guns to the hood. And he wrote the serial numbers down after. So he gave a guy a gun and was like, hold up, homie. Let me see them serial numbers. What? I would have been like, take the gun back, homie. There you go. I'm good. If that was a true real life story, if Vato hands you a gun and says, oh, hey, by the way, homie, let me get them serial numbers. Say, okay, homie, here. I'll be right. I'll pick that up later, homie. I'm going to think it's a cop. It's a fed. Oh, you need that? Okay, here, Holmes. Look, I'm gonna run to the store real quick. I'll be right back for that. Get in your car. Don't ever see that dude again. Don't ever fuck around with that dude again, right? So I just don't understand. If Big U had this plot, why wouldn't he write the serial numbers down before he got there? Maybe there's an explanation that was just left out because they were talking about so many different things, right? But that's one thing. When it comes to the phone call, Big U made a phone call. Hey, homie, you just hear? Nip got killed, homie. What? He did? Oh, man, I'll get at you then. Hold up. And he calls Nipsey. Now, I don't know. Maybe there was a phone call made. I don't know what it was about. He says it's on his... He says it's going to come out on his show. Is this advertising to entice people to watch the show? Is this very sensationalistic advertising where people are going to tune in to see that episode? Is that episode going to be the last episode of the season and you don't know it yet? And they're going to have you know what I'm saying? So my mind, I'm looking at what's the angle? Somebody's talking about something for a reason. What is the reason? What is the angle, man? Right? So if I know that my homeboy is really close to my other homeboy, that's his dog, whatever, right? Has his number, can talk to him at any time. But I'm involved in this sinister ass plot to take this dude out. I know if I call and say, hey, Holmes, you know that the homie got smoked, I know he can call him. I know he could. Oh, is that right? All right, hold up. Boom. And then you call. So let's assume I'm trying to work through everything I saw and heard, right? So there's that. You know he can call him. And you're going to make that. So now we have two really, really mind-blowing mistakes that this individual, who's been around for a very long time, been involved in a whole lot of shit, now he's making these type of mistakes. So now let's assume he is involved. For the sake of argument, he's involved somehow, some way with Shitty, and this is a hit. It's a hit job. It's a plot, right? So if that's true, they must be in contact somehow, some way, right? If he's involved, he has to have access to his number. That dude has to have some way of getting back at him, right? Compound that with supposedly Big U has this contract where the authorities are going to let him know when shit happens in his neighborhood. So how is it that that type of mistake would be made? If he's involved with the shooter and the shooter hasn't called and said, hey, I got that, I took care of that, whatever, they got a code word maybe for the phone. Hey, I just dropped off them groceries. Maybe that's the code. But he doesn't get the call. Hey, I dropped the groceries off. He doesn't get a call from the police saying Nipsey just got hit. So he doesn't get a call from the cops or the shooter and just out of nowhere, just like, hey, homie. Hey, they got Nip. That seems like does Big U drink? Like, does he do drugs or something? Because nobody in their right mind is gonna. I just don't see anybody in their right mind. Now, in this era, new cats coming up, because drugs are so prevalent and the way these drugs are nowadays, I could see somebody now, a youngster, doing that under the influence. But somebody that has been banging since, 40 years now? Started gangbanging about 40 years ago? Minimum 40 years ago. Done a lot of shit. Didn't slip up. Didn't confide in the wrong people. After all those decades of being smooth in what he does and how he moves, 30 minutes before a high profile hit, all that shit went out the window. All his schooling, all of his protocol, his way of functioning, it just went out the window. And he turned into a woman that had to gossip. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Maybe I'm just a fool. But I know, if you go in, it's like a cook. It's like a baker. Let's say a baker. It's like a baker decides they want to make some chocolate chip cookies. They buy every ingredient to make those chocolate chip cookies, but forget the chocolate chips. Can they bake that cookie and sell it as a chocolate chip cookie with not one chocolate chip in it? Nah. This thing is missing some shit. This story is missing shit. I don't know why people are going in on Big U. I really think, I don't know him. I've never, and there was the whole Big U knocked out 30. He never said that. It was Wack 100 that said it. Big U didn't correct it. I mean, hey, he's fuck it. Sounds good. I'm going to let him run with it. But he didn't say it. If you go back and watch it, he didn't say it. Wack 100 says, man, this motherfucker knocked out 32 Mexicans in one riot. Big U laughed, and they said, you did. He said, it was a lot of them. They was asleep. It was a lot of them. Should have said, nah, fuck, I look like knocking out 32 of them. He didn't say it, so he let it go, right? But right after that is when Wack and Big U had their fallout. Hey, look, Holmes. Wack 100 is extremely shrewd. He's a marketer. He's a genius at it. I give it to him. I just talked about it the other day. How many albums has Wack? How many albums has Wack 100 made and sold of himself rapping or singing or talking? How many records? Excuse me. How many movies has he made that were box office hits? How many TV shows did he star in that just were ratings fucking killers? None. And here we are talking about him again today. He's more famous than his damn artists that he fucking manages. He's a genius. He gets people to say shit like, man, Holmes, that was the worst acting. That's why he ain't an actor. That's why he's not in a box office movie. That's why he's not in a ratings killing fucking TV show. Did you say, what, nephew? He did what? Wait a minute. Man, you knew everything that was coming. You talked about it. You said, hey, homie, I know how to blow up your new show. I know how to blow it up. And like I said, he told the story of Big U knocking out 32 people right before their fallout. He's a genius. He knew they were going to have a fallout. Somehow, some way, he was going to create that fallout. He felt he didn't need Big U no more, and he created that fallout, and he shit on his character by saying he knocked out 32 people in one riot. This dude is a fucking genius. You got to give that man his applause. Recognize that. So me personally, I do not believe that Big U was involved in it. I don't believe he made a call 30 minutes before to gossip about a killing on the phone. I just don't. Me, myself, personally, I don't see it. I don't believe it. Let's see where it goes, and make sure you tune in to Loose Cannon's show. And hey, he said it was a FaceTime call. It was a FaceTime while they were filming. That's crazy. You would think he would, if I don't know, I could go on and on about it. It just seems very strange to me. And I feel like Big U is doing the right thing. What it didn't both of his sons, don't you have two sons and going in the NFL now or something like that? He's sitting back. He don't have to have a single thing to do with the streets. I think people are trying to bait him to get off that couch and get in the streets. And somebody would knock him down. Believe that. And whoever has that in their head to knock anybody down, make sure that you have the ability to do the time that comes with it. Make sure that, you definitely don't want to catch an L a life sentence in your 30s or 40s. Ain't no coming back from that. And remember how tough, no matter how tough you are in your hood, your barrio, the streets, you ain't that guy when you hit the joint. There's another guy that's that guy in there. Don't fuck his program up. It's already established. He don't need you coming in there. So, if whoever wants to ever commit that type of violence to another human being, just make sure you can do that time. It ain't no fun. With that said, I'm going to bring this to a close. I'm going to get this video out to you guys right now. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for all the support you've been showing me. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.